Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's Brian and Jim here. Drink a beer and play a game, and welcome to another episode of the Power Hour.
Yes, hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 197. Thank you for joining us tonight. Speaking of joining us, we want you to join us for our 200th episode. So, 267-991-0156. That's the voicemail line. We want to do a big Power Hour. Listen to your voicemails, as many as we can. Hopefully fill up the entire hour. That would be nice. So, you know, you have those weekend nights where you're drunk or high or whatever you're doing. Just babble, send some shit our way. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, no, some of you guys have already sent some in, and that's awesome. But like Jim said, make sure, get them in there. Ask us questions. Just drop us a line. Whatever you want to say. It doesn't matter. So, yeah, we're really looking forward to hearing all those, especially because I have some interesting drinks planned for us during that. So
Oh, boy.
It'll be fun to get drunk and listen to it. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, we're going to be doing that on a weekend. So
yeah,
can,
without doubt. Yeah, for sure. Jim, speaking of drinking and celebrating, you should be celebrating right now.
So, poor Brian. The one night we record remotely that he's ready early, and I'm like, Brian, I'm working on something. I got to finish something. I'm sorry. Finally. I'm done, Shadow the Hedgehog. It's over. I got all 10 endings. I did the last story. I did everything. It's over. My long national nightmare is over.
Jim, I know we got to save a lot for the review, but do you feel there's redemption in the game? And like you said, you don't got to get specific.
No, I'm not going to get specific. See, here's the problem with the game, and I'm going to reiterate it during the review. There's so much wasted potential, because when the game's actually good, it's a lot of fun. The problem is that doesn't happen nearly enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the bad definitely outweighs the good. There is good there, but the bad outweighs it so much.
I got a really dumb question. How old is that show? What is it, Sonic X?
Sonic X was early 2000s.
So that game came out in what, 06?
05.
Okay, so that was soon after. Because what shocked me when I turned it on, I was like, oh, they're like straight out of Sonic X, like all the characters and everything. I didn't realize it was that old of a show.
I think Sonic X came out like a year before the game, if I'm remembering correctly. Could be wrong, probably wrong. I don't know, but it did come out before.
And you did it on the GameCube, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, did you? And once again, I know we'll dive into it because I did it on the PS2. Did you read like what's supposed to be the best version and worst versions?
Apparently, the PS2 is the worst running version. So, from what I've heard, but that is also the only one where you can switch the voices to the Japanese. Every other version that came out in North America, you're just stuck with the Sonic X voice acting. So, if you want to hear the Japanese actors, you have that option because this is not their best performance. They were definitely still early into it, but it's like, hey, I recognize these voices. They're all right. They're there.
Their voices. That's fine.
Yeah, it's not like because my daughter actually within the past week has gotten really into Sonic Boom. And like that show's actually like great. That show's a lot of fun. And two, like the voice acting, like they've definitely been doing it a while by that point. So they're all like, they knock out their performances like awesome. So
yeah, nice. So Jameburst,
Sonic is a medium that is better in everything but video games.
It had a strong start. It didn't have a good middle or finish.
Well, you know what it is? Like, there's a lot of games that people don't talk about that are actually good. It's probably like 50-50 for like bad and good games, considering how many games there are.
There's
like,
so fucking many, yeah.
But the most notorious ones are mostly bad. So
yeah. Now, Jim, to celebrate yourself finishing that, what are you drinking to enjoy the moment?
Well, Bri, I thought I was going to enjoy the moment fully. So I am drinking from the Thin Man Brewery, the Mickey Boodle. It is a raspberry sour ale, 7% alcohol. Let's see here. Anything else on there?
I've seen that one before.
Yeah, so it is very red, very raspberry looking, very what you would think.
Yeah.
When I take my sips, like, you know me, I love me my sours. This is almost too tart. This might be the most hardcore in the tart and like almost not enjoyable sour that I've had. Like, if you don't like sours in general, never touch this. You will absolutely hate it. And if you're a fan of sours, maybe by the second or third one I'll enjoy it more. But right now I was like, ooh, this is a little heavy. A little heavy on the tart.
Jim, would you say that's the simple Jim of sours? It went full tart?
It went full tart. Never go full tart.
Nice.
The more sips I get in, it mellows out a little bit. But like those first couple ones you take are just like, holy shit.
Yeah. I've noticed that with some sours I've had too, where I don't like them as much as you, but I don't mind them. Like, sours don't bother me. But yeah, there are some you have and you're like, oh God. Like, it's kind of like the version of an IPA that goes too piney.
Yeah.
You're like, this is too much. Like, dial it back a little bit. So yeah, this is like the first time in 2 weeks I think I've even had any alcohol or whatever. So I am continuing with my 12 beers of Christmas. You know, in nice February. So I got this, it's really shiny. The Whitman Ural, it's their Hells. And Jim, I know you've both had this.
I've had it.
The first one I had from them was a Hells. Jim, did you retain? What does Hells mean?
Ooh, it's like college.
I'm going to say it every time, and I want to see if you ever retain. Just one time, Jim.
Ooh,
come on.
Done some damage to the old brain cells over the years. Tell me.
Pale in color.
Ah, that's right. Ah, damn.
Ah, Jim, what's Dunkel mean?
Dark.
There you go. See?
Hey, context.
So yeah, this is super like crystal clear. The ever tiniest bit of like particulates in there, but it's tough to see through the glass on my camera. Really, really good. It's got like a little bit of a lemon, kind of lemongrass flavor to it. It's very, very light. I think it's only 4.9%. So it's a very light beer. As I said about the last Hells, Germans know how to make really good light beer. I mean, they know how to make all great beers, but like this would be a perfect replacement for a macro beer if it was easier to get. I don't think I've ever seen it outside of this variety pack.
Yeah, any of the beers in that 12 beers of Christmas pack, I never see during the year except for Christmas time. So
yeah, so if you can get a hand on it and you like light beers with like I said, a little bit of almost lemon flavor, it's actually not bad.
Yeah, it's got a good mouthfeel from what I remember. It's got a lot more flavor than you expect for 4.5%.
Yeah. So, Chambers, so you finished Shadow, so everyone give Jim a little clap.
I need more than claps. I need praise. Right, I'm like gaming Jesus, all right? I just bartered myself, so no one else had to.
Jim, the games I've finished, you still owe me some.
What, you finished Sneak King? You didn't finish Donkey Kong?
I played enough of it.
You didn't finish it then?
You played like 10 minutes. You're like, I'm motion sick. I can't do it.
I played like a half hour.
Exactly, you son of a bitch. I saw you also got your first game. I didn't realize it was your first game, but Tetris Effect?
Yeah, what do you call it? So, Tetris Effect Connected. That's one I had been working on for a little bit. It's not a long game at all. So, it's cool. It's a cool take on Tetris, basically. It has all these, like, you know, designs coming at you, and, like, as the pieces drop, it goes along with the music and, like, kind of builds the world around you. It was originally, like, a PlayStation VR game, and I definitely think it loses something not being in VR. So I would really want to play it in VR and get that, like, full experience. On its own, it's a great version of Tetris. It has a ton of different challenge modes and, like, worldwide modes and stuff like that you can do. So there is a lot of content there. The journey mode takes, like, 2 hours to get through.
But at the end of the day, it's still basically Tetris.
It's still just Tetris. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, it's definitely one that because they got a lot of Game of the Year nods and crap like that. And like, what was it, 2019? I think it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it definitely needs that full VR experience to get like the full experience out of it.
Well, shit. I mean, with the talk of the VR too, I wonder what VR. See, now would be the time I would consider getting the original VR when it's like cheap. I don't know if it's cheap enough, but I would certainly consider it if it's like 150 maybe. I doubt it's that cheap, but I would get it for something like that. Yeah,
and then you'd have your what is it, Dead by Daylight, that like roller coaster ride thingy, and it had some cool VR shit on there for horror boys.
Isn't it? Is that the one that has that bar fight game too that I've seen people play, or is that Oculus?
I don't know,
because that looks funny. I mean, so many of those VR games are funny, like the Star Wars one, all that shit. It's gimmicks. I would get a kick out of it and be like, okay, it's fine.
Right. So, besides that, making my way through Super Mario World, that's like the game I play when I have like time to sit down with the Switch when I'm in Wi-Fi, because I'm just doing it through Nintendo Switch Online. So, so that's my, like, I typically am only hitting it up like on a Saturday for a couple hours. So, I'll eventually get through. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Great game.
Yeah.
Worthy of the praise. And besides that, one I actually went back to that I didn't like the first time. I just decided, I was like, all right, let me give River City Girls another shot. And I don't know what it is, but I'm really, really liking it this time.
Did you ever play the original?
I played River City Ransom and some of the Kunio-kun shit, yeah.
Okay. So you just randomly decided to go to that?
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the games in the back. It was one of those ones that always bothered me because, like, everyone always talked up how amazing it is. And when I played it before, I was like, no, I didn't really like it. And then I was like, all right, let me give it another shot. So I popped it in, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm actually enjoying it. It leaves a rough first impression because you're kind of really underpowered until you start, like, grinding a little bit and leveling up and shit. But once you get a couple levels in and the low tier enemies aren't as, like, annoying anymore, and you start to learn some more of the general patterns, then it gets to be a lot more fun. And I mean, there's a shitload of dialogue and a shitload of text and voice acting, but that I was probably not in the mood for that. It might beat him up when I first tried it, but even that's well done, even if it's a little goofy. So,
yeah, I was gonna say story. Why would you need that?
Not especially to beat him up. What do I need that shit for? But no, yeah. It's a really damn good game. So apparently it's only like 7 hours to get through this story, so that'll be more than enough.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's long for a beat 'em up like that, but still not that long of a game.
Yeah, exactly. So that's basically what I'm working on right now. And then I guess also, Brian, I'm getting so much goddamn more committed to this stupid Mega Man plug and play video than I ever goddamn expected. So when it finally comes out, everyone will see the stupid journey that I went on with this damn thing. But I will only
imagine.
I will also be making my way through Mega Man 2.
Have you ever beaten a Mega Man?
No, never have.
Wow. At least you're doing, you know what it is? That's one of the more easily accessible ones because as I showed you at the con, as soon as you get Metal Man, it's game over. Like, you blast through people. Yeah, you can still beat bosses with powers, but other enemies, it's a joke. You keep that power forever, and it becomes very easy.
Yep, yeah, the closest I'd ever come before was like Mega Man 10. I think I got to like the last Robot Master before Wily. I think it was like some sand level, and I just got annoyed, and I was like, I'll come back to this later. And then 12 years later, I never went back to it. So,
speaking of Mega Man 10, so first of all, thank you for finally getting the poll out there for
every day for a week. Brian going, Jim, get the poll out for the new songs. Jim, get the poll out for the new songs. I'm like, okay, I will. And then I forgot.
So we got the poll out. Is it closed or is it?
No, it's a 2-day poll. So
okay.
Zelda has a big lead, but we still have about a day.
Jim asked on Twitter. By the time you're listening, it's over now. Unfortunately, I'm gonna guess it's gonna be Legend of Zelda. Like Jim said, it was still in the league pretty heavily, which that actually surprised me. Because,
Mario's getting stomped.
Well, what shocks me is of those three, I think the least impressive music is from Legend of Zelda. And I'm not saying it has bad music, but I would say Sonic and Super Mario are known for their tracks more than Zelda. I mean, I don't know. So, yeah, if it is Zelda, once I finish up the Mega Man games, I'll probably do a few little, like, filler ones, and I'm combining all the Mega Mans into one big video, and that'll culminate into a top 10 best Mega Man songs out of the entire franchise mainline. So if you're wondering about how come I didn't do Game Boy games or the X series, I look at those as their own things. I may
X
even go back.
Is their own series. That's another fucking 10 games for you. So.
Exactly. So I was like, let me just do the numbered 1 through 11, get them out. But you talking about 10. So that video comes out tomorrow, but by the time you're seeing this video, it's Tuesday this week I released it, and that's been the hardest game in terms of how to narrow it down to 6. Like, there's so many good tracks in that game. And I was like, son of a bitch. Like, it was so close. So I'm still like, I'm furious because like there's some I really wanted to get in there, and I'm like, I got 6 spots. That's all I can do. So,
are you doing Mega Man 11 as well?
Yep.
That's
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that'll be the last like I said, last main Mega Man, and then like I said, I may do like the best stage select or opening or endings like for 6s, and then also top 10. So that'll finish it off because it'll give me time then to also go through, listen to all Legend of Zelda or whatever it is, and start those lists too.
Mega Man 11, there's a game I had no patience for. I don't think I made it through like 1 level.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I heard not good things.
Yeah, you hear definitely more bad than good about that one.
Yeah, I don't know the soundtrack at all, so that'll be my next one I listen to. So we shall see.
Probably the only bright spot.
But it is funny because I am very familiar with the original Legend of Zelda, and if I have to start with that, there's literally only 6
5
main
songs
tracks.
total.
Yeah, there's 6 main tracks. So I'm like, that first list is going to be, here's like, you could add in those like 5-second loops of things, but I'm like, you know me, I'm only going to do major songs are going to make the list. So it's like, yeah, the 6 songs of the game. You'll be like, huh, feel like you just covered all of them. Sure did.
Like when we made there,
like when we made the top 5 NES football games, it's like there's only 5 games. Or top 5 like fighting games, you're like, there's only 5.
Yeah. But of course people are like, oh, you didn't have that Japanese only game. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's like, shut up. God.
Shut up, nerd.
But yeah, no, as far as gaming, I did since last week, I finished Dark Watch. Really, really, really fun game. I think even for someone like you, very casual, like, but it's a really well done shooter. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's 8 to 10 hours, maybe.
Right.
So it's not the longest game in the world. You could, like, it's one of those games that it's like you can have evil choices or good choices, which will dictate the end. So that's a game I might go back to one day and see what the evil version is. But really fun game. I launched from that right to The Last of Us. It's been on my list for so long. I played it years ago.
Right, do you want to watch it before you're watching the show?
Well, what's funny is I started the first episode. My wife was like, I don't know if I really feel like watching it. I said it's a video game show, and she went, I don't want to watch it. And then as it was on, she was getting into it, and she's like, I want to. So now I'm like still stuck on the first episode because she wants to watch it. But yeah, that did help me want to get into it. And what I'm trying to do is be far enough in the game that I'm ahead of the episodes, if that makes sense. So I'm definitely a few hours into the game already. And I'll tell you what, like already what I'm into, every praise I got back then, shocker, it deserves it. At least from my perspective. So
that is one I want to get around to. That's part of that PlayStation Plus collection on PS5 that's going away. So
yeah, you better. Yeah. So with that, didn't they say so? As long as you download them and you're still subscribed, you'll keep them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you better just download all the games and keep them on your hard drive.
Yeah, I gotta buy another hard drive and hook it up to it. But yes, I will be doing that.
And I am struggling to try to properly get. I'll never say the name right. The one Zwick requested.
Oh, Kudelka, whatever.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. We may need to talk to Zwick logistically about how we get the footage. And So I'll tell you what, I played the first 30 minutes to an hour. A fascinating concept. Like, do you know anything about it?
Not really.
Imagine Resident Evil. It's in a Scottish castle, but it's an RPG. So you never see the enemies. It's just every couple seconds, all of a sudden the screen converts to an RPG, and it's a turn-based system.
Huh.
But it's like Resident Evil. So interesting concept, but I can tell you within the first half an hour, you can't take goddamn 5 steps without and then you gotta sit through that, and I'm like, and even on the emulator, it's got that PS load time, and I'm like, So yeah, I'm trying to see if I can correctly capture the footage and go through it, but we'll talk about it.
All right.
Yeah.
I
Jim.
spend $300. Don't be a bitch.
I mean, is that for what? For just the disc?
No, that's
'Cause
for
I
the
feel
full
like
thing.
Oh, see, I saw it much more expensive. Maybe you saw it somewhere better.
Yeah, I mean, some eBay, it was around the 300s for, the discs and the manual and all the case and all.
Yeah. Zwick, we love you. But there may be we might need a different game. We'll see. we'll talk about it. Because, hey, so far, it would be the first Patreon request that we might have to change. But with that, Chambers, what questions do we got this week? Because we do love you guys.
Oh, yeah. Patreon.com/DrinkABeerandPlayAGame, where for as little as $2 a month, you can ask a question and we will answer on each and every single one of these Power Hour podcasts. So, only one question this week. So, from Michael Soto. We had a shitload of questions the past few, so no complaints here. With all the controversy around the new Harry Potter game, mainly the trans community, I'm just curious. How many copies are you guys buying? I think I'm getting it for PlayStation and eventually the Switch as well. I'm not letting the Muggles stop me from living out my best wizard life.
Well, funny enough, I did add it on later, so we can just talk about it now. So the reviews are already out for it, and it's gotten praised out the ass, which I know you and I said. I was wondering, like, would it just be bashed automatically, like, where it's like, oh, this is a dog shit game and review bombed? And apparently the answer is no. People seem to really enjoy the game.
It's getting, those are some pretty damn high scores just all across the board.
There's like 2 that were like not good. Here's the deal. I said the game looks good. I could imagine if I was really into Harry Potter, I would this would be a dream game. I don't know Harry Potter games, like, if they used to be good, if they were ever good. I know nothing of it, but this definitely looked cool. The hype was real. The outrage, I've said it many times. I found it a little unfounded just because you're connecting the ultimate creator of the universe versus the people who busted their ass as game developers. It's like 2 different entities almost. So I kind of go, yeah, you're not really like... I don't buy into that. If you buy it, you're not supporting trans people. I think that's a weird fallacy, and it's the weirdest game I've ever seen where people are trying to like demand you don't buy it. It's like no one's saying you have to buy it, but to say you can't it's a weird thing. All that being said, it is also funny. I read that in the first like 20 minutes, and a big plot point is like a trans character you have to play with in the game, in the Harry Potter universe. So that was put in there right away. If it's ever free, it might already be free. Maybe one day down the line, if I, for some reason, want to play a Harry Potter game, I'd play it. But it's nothing I definitely won't buy it. It would have to be free, and I'd have to really be in the mood for it. Because as I said, I don't care about the series. I'm not a big fan of it. I'll watch the movies if they're on, and that's about as far as my caring of Harry Potter goes.
Yeah, I was never going to buy it anyway. Like, I don't care about your stupid world for babies and shit like that and fucking wizards and crap like that. I don't fucking care. So, I was never going to buy it as is. I mean, I guess we have to talk about it, the whole thing. Like, I get it, because JK is very, very outspoken with, I mean, she's gone, I think it started as like casual, questioning of stuff, and then after the outrage, it turned into, like, she's a billion. It's what we're seeing with, like, stupid fucking Musk, where they're billionaires with nothing to lose, so they're just, like, digging deeper into, like, whatever thing they have and they get pushback on. So, like, she could truly hate trans people. It's also funny to see how, like, what was it, 5-10 years ago, like, all of a sudden everyone hated her because they made Dumbledore gay. And they're like, oh, Harry Potter's gone woke, this is ridiculous. Now everyone who complained about it back then, is like, cheering her on and spite buying her products because she's against trans people. So it's so stupid that the stupid little fucking stupid Wizards for Babies goddamn world is what's turned into a culture war. Like, it's the tipping point. Like, I definitely, like, I'm not going to think less of people who go out and buy it, but, I mean, I can definitely see where they're coming from, because she has said basically, like, look, people keep buying my stuff, so I must be right. So that's
once again, I know, and you know me. I know. I don't even know. Like, I just know that she's involved with it, but I don't know a single thing done, said. I'm not on the internet. I don't care. Like,
right.
That you know me. So,
and that's kind of a thing where, like,
excuse me,
like the boycott, like, it's not going to work out because, one, enough people aren't going to care in general. Two, the fucking Harry Potter fans are just going to buy their stupid wizard game anyway because they glom up all that shit. So, like, but
it's like
also
any fan base. It's like Star Wars. It's like all of them. It's Disney. You and I have said it. If you want to take that stance, then you got to start taking stances on everything. Stop using smartphones. Stop buying Nike. Go down the line. Because someone at the top of most of those companies, like Activision, are people still playing Activision games? And Blizzard? Yep. Like, where something I would say potentially, like, you see the things that happen there and you go, wow, that's really worse. I don't know. It's one of those deals where I just go, I've never seen, and you know, because I'm not online, but when I do go online, man, the outrage of like, if you're buying this, you're making a statement. It's like, well, don't take it that far. That's the part I have an issue with. Like, you can't just say that blanket statement, because then it's like, well, what if you're someone who doesn't know? Because you're not living on the internet.
Unfortunately, that's a very easy way to have people who either don't know or aren't invested to push them straight the other way.
That's what I'm saying is, yeah, that's a problem.
Because you can't just tell people, like, it's like anything else. If you try to tell people what to buy and what not to buy, like, if it's something that doesn't affect them, and like you're saying, if you buy this, you're an asshole, like, well, fuck you, I don't know you, I don't care about you. And then they just run and spite buy it or shit like that. Which, it's stupid. Here's the thing I get, though, where they're like, you know, if you say you're an ally, then it's the least you can do is just not buy one. I think at like the core of it, that's what their main argument is, just to try and like, just to get like just a little thing to say, hey, like, we understand. I think that's what they're mainly coming from. Is to be like, look, we know she's a shitty person. We don't have to buy one game from a franchise. Fine. That's what they're getting at. And, see, here's the thing. Like, me being the online guy, like, I talk to a lot of trans people at this point. So I'm not saying I'm super ally. I'm not saying, like, you know, I'm not buying the game because I'm an ally. I just think, you know, Harry Potter's stupid. So I can't take credit for that. So, but it's the thing where it's like, I see where they're coming from, but I also see a lot of them who are also just, like, going so hard in the dirt. Because, like, I've had some come at me before and be like, oh, we've got to, you know, I wish we could just erase Kindergarten Cop from history. And it's like, why? And because they bring up the boys have penises, girls have vagina line. And they're like, that's problematic, we have to delete it. And that's when I go, see, that's where you're going too far. That's where you're going to push people away if you're jumping down their throats about something as harmless as Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah.
Like, I can see your point. If you want to point out something, that's fine. But when you, like, freak out about it, that's when you push people away, basically, from your cause. So, like, yeah, 5 years ago, it could have been very easy for me to go, oh, you're all just fucking weird anyway. I don't care about the stupid wizard game, but if people buy it, whatever. I see their point. But it's, I don't know. It's like, luckily, I don't have to care about Harry Potter.
No.
But, yeah. I mean, I did see them all, like, kind of like with Forspoken, when, like, a couple early clips came out that were, like, kind of stupid and cringe. And they're like, oh, see, all you spite buyers are buying a shit game. Yeah, go fuck yourselves. And now it's all coming out the Universal reviews. It's like, up, jumping the gun on that.
Yeah, it's, I didn't doubt that this game was going to sell well. What you and I doubted was, how would it get reviewed? Would it be in context of everything we're talking about, or would it be on the basis of the game? Without playing the game, I can't say if the reviews are right or not, but it seems pretty universal. It's a good game, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw the first clip, we talked about it when they showed the preview. I was like, oh, this looks cool, and then it said Harry Potter, and I was like, I'm out. I don't care. So, right. For so goddamn long, Harry Potter fans are like the most annoying goddamn people in the world, and it's like
Jim. But to be fair, it was initially Star Wars fans.
They're still
well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, there only was, like, Star Wars fans like that, and then Star Trek, shit like that, then Lord of the Rings, and Harry Potter. Like, it's just it's another thing now. Right now, it's I don't know what the equivalent would be, but you know, there was Hunger Games for a while. Those fans were like, there's always annoying
Hunger Games
fans.
was never as big though. It was like
No,
Harry
never.
Potter and
That's
then
what I
straight
mean.
Marvel, where like everything got like.
Yeah. So yeah, you could use that. So it's like that shit is always gonna be it. And you coming from the camp of Star Wars and Star Trek, it is funny though. It's like, yeah, if people were obsessed with their, as you put it, the little wizard world, it's like it's not for me. Like I said, I don't give a shit about it. I've seen each movie once. That's my knowledge of Harry Potter. I don't care.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those deals where, to Jim's point, I do get what you're saying, but yeah, jumping down to throw someone who may or may not even know what the hell you're talking about, because like I said, I couldn't quote a single thing. I just know the headline news of like JK is in trouble for saying certain things. That's the extent of what I know. I don't know what was actually said. I'm like, I don't care because I'm not gonna be buying books. I've never bought a book anyway. I don't give a shit. So
Yeah. I mean, in a lot of ways, they are desperate for a win. Because if you look at politics around the country, like certain states, it's getting rough for them. So I think they're like really hoping for a win. And I think a part of it too is like, for a lot of them, this probably was their escapism as a kid. That like that they feel betrayed by now. So it's probably hitting extra close to home and shit like that.
Oh no, and oh no, don't get me twisted. If you don't want to support it, I say I go 1,000%, and even say they're fucked up, whatever. It's like, but turning on people like who might not know any better is the wrong move too.
Right.
Like, yeah, like you said, if there's shitheads that are spitefully doing it to say like F you do it, different story.
Right.
But if there's an idiot like me who doesn't know any better, it's like, and then you want to hate, it's like, well, now that's a little too far.
Yeah, like if you never tweet anything and then like you randomly like, oh, I'm gonna hop on Twitter. Hey, look what I'm playing, and then your things just. I mean, like,
yeah, I'd be like, what the fuck?
like, yeah, I mean, like again with people, taking it too hard in the paint. Like, they recently showed a thing today where like someone made basically a tracker to show which Twitch streamers are playing Hogwarts.
See, that's too far, and you're only doing that to have people go there and hate watch on them.
To send the hate mobs, yeah.
That's not cool, because once again, there are people, how do I say this, that deserve that type of shit. There are pieces of shit out there.
Yeah.
But someone just playing a game, like, who might not have any idea of why they're being hated on now, they'll be like, what the fuck? So, yeah, I don't know. Like, I just always say, like, don't assume everyone is in the same line of thinking as you, or even knows what the hell you're upset about. Like, you first got to understand, do they even know why I'm mad? Okay, now talk to them.
It's very Twitter. It's very Reddit. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's a very online thing.
But were you shocked, too, though, how good of reviews it's getting?
Oh, completely. I did not. One, I didn't know where reviewers would go with it, for one. Just with all the, it's a powder keg right now. And then two, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, a good game's a good game if it's getting this many scores.
Jim, what's the next week and a half of YouTube videos look like? What is the title of the videos talking about the Harry Potter controversy?
Oh, it's already fucking out there. Harry Potter.
Is it already? Wow.
It's already out there. I'm sure someone's gonna say Hogwarts Legacy went woke because they put a trans character in there. Like I'm sure there's gonna be that video that you least suspect.
Well, yeah, they'll be the contrarian ones. They'll be like, can you believe how many people don't support? Can you believe it's woke? Can you believe the backlash of what, something
I'm
to
sure
that
the
effect.
Quartering has like 7 videos on it already and shit like that. I mean, it is like, I'm sure a lot of people were like, oh, this is going to be the next Gamergate. And surprisingly, I guess, at the end of the day, a good game's a good game.
Jim, now, I heard everything you said.
Yeah.
But let me ask you one thing.
Yeah.
Is there a part of you, because I know you love watching chaos ensue,
Right.
if that were to win Game of the Year, would that make you laugh?
A part of me would probably laugh.
Just from the shitposting part of you.
The shit poster in me would sit back and laugh and be like, oh, well, I got a Firestorm to watch. But part of me is also like, man, I don't want to fucking
Well, you
sit
know
through.
that's not going to happen.
It's
Number
not.
one, we're getting Hades 2. We're getting God of War. Or, no, God of War already happened.
God of War was last year, yeah.
But, yeah, like, there's going to be enough other games. But I'm just saying, like, it's going to be one of those. You know it's going to be contender. I'll tell you that right now.
If it's getting scores like this, I mean, in the early going of the year for AAA games, yeah, I mean...
But it's not going to... It's... I'd bet
we have a long year. It's only early February, so...
Exactly.
I'm sure we can crap out 5 games to put on a list. Actually, speaking of Game of the Year nominees, our poor buddy Blade Blur, he's trying to go through like all the indie hits from last year for a video, and he just got done Stray, and he's like, "Why was this the indie game that they put on all the Game of the Year lists?"
Exactly.
But Bright, kitty memes.
But Jim, just like certain lists I did, I mean, I was right about that game. Well, you said, hold on, before we get to that, you said we only had the one question?
Yeah, that's the only question for this week. So let me just double check real quick. But once again, yes, thank you. Yep, that's the only one. So once again, yep, thank you, Michael Soto. Thank you for the question. Thank you to our patrons for the support. Slow week for the questions, but hey, what are you going to do?
No, we appreciate it, guys. All right, Chambers, so did that sour beer get any better?
Yeah, it's cooled. It's calmed down into like a more standard sour. So it's fine. It's nothing groundbreaking. I think it's also been a while since I've had a sour beer. So maybe those first couple sips were just like, oh, holy shit, I was not used to this. We're prepared for it. But I mean, it's fine. You get definitely that raspberry note in there. It is still very tart, but again, if you don't like sours, stay away from it.
Is there anything you think you'll get again?
Probably not. Not out of not liking it, but it's kind of ho-hum. So I could probably get like a bunch of other sours and still get the same experience.
Yeah. Nice. Well, I'll probably avoid that one. This, as I said, the Whitman, I would suggest it. If you are looking for a very easy drinking beer, and more importantly, if you can find it, I would suggest it. But moving right along, the next one in the 12 beers is the Weininger Homat Weiss beer. So this is a Hefeweizen. So I haven't taken a sip yet. I'm letting the head settle a little bit. Definitely more cloudy, like you would expect from a Hefeweizen. Trying to get in here. And what I would hope is you get that kind of banana flavor with like a little bit of pepper, a little bit of clove. It's 5.6%. So it's a little stronger, but it's still on the weaker side of craft beers that we usually have.
Brian, it's funny. You're going to be finishing up your Christmas beers in February. I still haven't even gotten to my 12-pack of Stone Brewing IPAs. So, might be March when I finally break into that goddamn thing.
You better get it done before May, Jim.
Oh, yeah. I will have to do that before May.
Maybe like that'll like wear you out, and then you'll be ready to be done with IPAs again.
Yeah, I know, right? After a couple weeks straight of IPAs, I'm like, fuck, enough. It'll be the easiest no IPA May ever.
Yeah, I try to overdo it in April with my IPAs, just so I got my fix. I'm good. And then a month without, it's cakewalk. Because at this point now, between fall and winter, I'm usually trying other beers anyway. So
yeah, we're definitely the type to hit up the seasonals when the seasons come around.
Flavor of life, Jim.
But, Brian, we have to just keep drinking IPAs all the time and wear ironic t-shirts and have weird curly mustaches.
Damn it, Jim. I would like to see you with a curly mustache. That would be hilarious.
I would like to see me with a mustache that connected to my beard.
But, Jim, that's why dudes did the curly mustache, because they couldn't grow a full beard, but they can grow it out. I wonder if you get, I mean, you kind of get curly hair up top. I wonder if your facial hair would get curly.
I don't know. Like, my mustache annoys the shit out of me because, like, if it gets long enough,
yeah,
like it just goes like straight out, unless I like wax the bejesus out of it. Yeah, like out, profile
it just
shot.
Goes that way.
It'll be going this way.
You could be like the dude,
but it's only like to this point where it goes this way, and then the rest will go like this. So like the rest of my face,
But Jim, you could kind of be like the dude from Mythbusters.
Yeah, kind of like an awful Jamie.
Can you just let that grow now? Now I want to see it.
No, because I still need to work a real job. Not famous enough to pull out dumb shit like that.
Come on, Jim.
No.
Taste beer. All right, Chambers. So, got some feedback about a video, and I want to let you.
You butt fucker. you sneaky dick shit. Fucking logging into the goddamn actual page account for once.
I did it on purpose because I
know you did.
So, for those of you who don't know, but if you're watching this, chances are you do know, I've released the top 6 worst controller video. And it's something I've been thinking about, but it was cemented after Jim's terrible take with the whole Arlo thing. I was like, all right, I have an idea. I'm going to put this together. And I was putting together a thumbnail, and initially I had a different controller. I had the picture because we use a version of Adobe where we can actually like legally use the picture I have. And I'm like, that's a funny picture. And I was like, I know what would really piss Jim off. And that's the sole driver of that picture is I know this will really piss off Jim. And he'll be mad that it kind of looks good. Like I know
did look
that
good. You know what else I'm mad about? Some of the points. I was like, all right, fair.
Yep.
You're still a little bit more fair than I was expecting.
I said
I do
could
appreciate
tell,
you saying Jim is a blub for one of the points.
I could tell. Here's the deal. I could tell you were definitely like, oh God, this list is gonna be terrible. And I know instinctually you actually don't think it's as terrible as you thought it was gonna be because you didn't give me any shit after the fact.
Yeah, I didn't think it wasn't as terrible as I thought it was gonna be.
Did you expect me to include like Genesis or something?
I was fully expecting the 3-button Genesis controller.
Now, as much as I give that controller shit for its faultings, it's not a bad controller.
And I did like that your complaints about the Wii U controller were like the legitimate complaints, like the short battery life, the Wi-Fi on it gets like wonky.
Yeah, listen, and I did try to preface it. Now I wasn't gonna do it in the title because it would take too long, but I wasn't putting any third-party peripherals. I wasn't putting things that didn't come with the system. The purpose was like, yeah, of course you could do the fucking Sega actuator or the power glove and the million other very goofy controllers that were dog shit. You could do all those, but I was like, no. And all these I legit have used at one point or another. I've never used the Atari 5800 or 7200, so I can't comment on like how shitty those are. I know they look shitty.
Your plug-and-play controller is kind of like a 7800 controller.
Yeah, so it's like I can't comment on that. And I looked at it. Hey, I've said many times to Jim, I love the Dreamcast, but I know that's a bad controller. And like I said, the Hot Topic one was because of the picture, the Wii U. And like I said, I think you appreciate that I was definitely more fair than. I think you also were probably happy I put the Dreamcast in there.
I was happy to see the Dreamcast, and you even used my line.
Which one was that?
One stick in a DualShock world.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good line. Now listen, in fairness, I know this is not the list you would have made, but base kit, the only one I would have swapped out if I swapped any of them out is you could have put the Sega Master System controller in there.
Yeah, I fucking hate that controller.
But once again, I've never actually used it. I've seen it. I've never actually used it. I've heard the D-pad is atrocious on it.
It is.
But if I haven't played it, I don't know. But honestly, knowing all those rules, you know my list holds water.
Right. Of course, you did the smart thing and did the clickbaity headline.
Of course.
So.
I mean, that's the one that if I
can't argue that point.
Yeah, so I had to put the one that's going to be like, why in God's name would you put that there? Of like, I do believe it giving my criteria. I completely believe I'm correct. And I actually had a whole bunch of other points on the Wii U. To like, here's the deal. My biggest issue is, especially after using it at your house, it just doesn't. Like, the number of games that don't use a screen, it was a wasted potential that it wasn't fully flushed out. It gave us a Switch. What it led to was more impressive than what it was. And
you know what? I wish the Switch, even though that would have taken away from the portability, I wish it had the... Except, I do like that they switched up the triggers. Because, like, on the Wii U, like, the bumpers are up here and the triggers are down here. That's probably my biggest complaint.
It's very... And when I played Mario Kart, your place with that, I remember thinking, this is awful. Like, I did not like the finger placement. It's not a matter of my fingers being too big or too, like, it was more of like, this just doesn't feel good. They had to do what Nintendo does best, which was be too gimmicky. As much as I give the Wii shit, those Wii emotes worked fine. I didn't actually have an issue with them. I don't like using them, but I didn't have an actual issue with them.
See, I think the Wii U gamepad's really comfortable, and I think people would like the Switch more if it had like the body shape of the Wii U. But
I mean, honestly, when I bought my third-party controller for a Switch, I use that. I never use a Switch unless I'm actually on the go with the screen.
Yeah,
dude, that honestly, I almost considered putting this Switch.
I'm actually shocked you didn't put the Joy-Cons on there.
I was gonna put those in that whatever the fuck mold it comes in, because my hands are way too giant for that shit, and those buttons are way too small. And goddamn, playing multiplayer with those, if you have to split one set of Joy-Cons, I had to do it with my son, and that made me go out and buy 3 like third-party controllers. I was like, fuck this, I'm never doing this again. But no, I mean, so from my list, I mean, knowing all that, do you agree with my list?
I probably would have found stuff that, like, I definitely would have kept, like, Jaguar on there. I've maybe used it for, like, 5-10 minutes, a Jaguar controller.
It's so awful. My rich buddy growing up had it, and I played, like, Doom, and one of the flying ones that you're on a grid, and then there's a few, whatever games, and I remember, like, why is it so, like, what the, how do you hold, it was so stupid.
Yeah, that just looks uncomfortable. I would have kept that on there. I would have kept Dreamcast on there. The CDI. I know someone was trying to, like, justify the CDI, and, like, yeah, the 3-button controller is comfortable, but that wasn't a pack-in until, I don't know if that was ever a pack-in. Maybe, like, the last model that came out. Yeah. Like, before that, it was that god-awful infrared remote controller with the stick in the middle.
Yeah.
Like, that's a complete dog shit controller. I'm actually shocked he didn't do, like, Intellivision or Coleco.
I thought about that, but as bad as they were, I feel like you and I had a lot of fun playing those when I was over, and it wasn't great, but it was also, I almost give it a pass. It's like, what else do you expect from the first consoles?
Yeah,
there's a mindset I went with that. I went, okay, there's some leniency I'm going to give to the first consoles. So
yeah, Master System I would have definitely had on my list.
Yeah. Would you leave the Duke?
I don't hate the Duke.
See, here now I do want to
that would maybe be like a number 6 on my list. Like, so,
which is why it was number 6. Here's my deal: the absolute upgrade from that Duke to the next controller on even the original Xbox was so massive because it made so much sense. That Duke was so stupid; it was just annoying to even look at. And as a kid, it was just such a goddamn hunk of like fuck that I was just like, no, that controller, I don't care what you say. Like, Xbox and PlayStation are the kings of making good controllers since then.
Yeah.
That thing was an abomination.
Yeah.
And I know you would never put the N64. I know you have a very big love for it, but of the Nintendo controllers, like I mean,
I guess I probably would have to put the N64 controller on there, even though I have more problems personally with the GameCube controller than I do the N64 controller. Which I know is blasphemy, but at least the N64 controller was like a product of its time when people were still trying to figure shit out. Where, like, the GameCube controller just held back the GameCube from so much. Like, only having one bumper, having a useless second stick, having a basically useless D-pad. I appreciate the button, the idea behind the button placement, but it's still goofy.
It is. I mean, let's be honest. After the NES and Super NES, all Nintendo controllers are fucking weird. They set the standard for controllers with those two, and then said, let's get goofy with everyone since then.
Yeah.
Why?
Like, if I had to pick a Nintendo controller, I would probably put the Joy-Cons on there, if I was being honest. Yeah. But if I was going to make, like, part of me is like, maybe we should make, like, an overrated controller list. Because I would definitely put the GameCube controller on there. The GameCube controller is lucky because it's ridiculously comfortable, which is very important, obviously. Mm-hmm. And it's got one of the best analog sticks out there. The problem is, it's only got the one analog stick. And the fucking design kept it from having, you know, all the games that every other game from that console generation could have had. So
Yeah. Trust me, I really did consider putting the Joy-Cons, but I was like, I don't need to put 3 Nintendo consoles on here.
True.
And I can deal with the Joy-Cons when they're attached to a system. If I only counted them with the separate thing, yeah, they would. If like they didn't have the option to be on the sides, it'd been game over. That would have been on there without doubt.
Oh yeah, like when I'm doing my game capture, like I don't like using that center thing. Like when, you know, just using it as like the controller.
You don't have
like
a third party or pro controller?
I do. I actually do have a pro controller, and I do have a third party one, but I just get lazy, and I was like, all right, just let me stick this in here for some quick game capture.
Damn it, Jim.
And I don't use it enough on my TV to like keep them all like charged enough to go back to them quickly. So.
And the other thing with the Wii U, which I didn't know until like really looking into this shit when I was making the list, is
that they're only paired with the console. You can't just get another thing.
You can't. Yeah, and it's like, so right there, it kills it too. Like,
yeah,
there's so many problems with it.
It's got a ton of hardware issues. Like, I'll admit it. It's got a ton of hardware issues. I just think I just really like how comfortable it is. Like, I just really enjoyed holding it and playing with it. But it's got a ton of hardware issues.
And like I said, I get it. When you hear the term worst and you don't have the context of what it is, because at the end of the day, hey, the thumbnail, it is meant to be like, what the fuck? But like I said, yeah, if I added in peripherals, then the whole goddamn list would have been peripherals. Like, you could fill that to the brim with terrible design, third-party, haphazard bullshit.
Oh, God. If mine, like, 100% worked, I would love to see you try and dick around with the fucking ColecoVision Pro controller. That is the most haphazard, goddamn ridiculous mess of a controller that's ever been made. Like, you have 4 buttons on the fin and the full thing up here and a stick up here and a swivel bar over here. Like, it's a goddamn nightmare.
Well, trust me, when I saw some of the controllers, which I never even knew, like, there's this one thing that's shaped in like a U. I forget what it's called. It looks ridiculous.
What is that? The Amiga CD32 controller, I think.
I don't even know what it was too. It was just so goddamn goofy looking. But I would, like the Sega Activator, I heard is notoriously dog shit. I would love to
that
see
thing
you
doesn't
play
work.
that.
I really wanted it when I was a kid, but I've heard since it doesn't work.
And and it's funny because I even considered, like, we talked about it, like they connect, but like I don't know. I don't look at that really as a controller, even though I know there are Kinect only games. But the games I actually had personally, I didn't have a problem with. So I can't say, like, I had that experience of it being bad. Like, I know it wasn't fully realized, and you and I talked about that. Like, that's another kind of wasted potential trying some weird shit that didn't really pan out. But it also wasn't, like, a mandatory to play base games.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, obviously neither you or I had, like, the notorious games for it. Like yeah. What is it? Sonic Free Riders, I think it was called, and, like, the DBZ game, and... Yeah, everything on that Star Wars game that wasn't the Dance Central clone, and like Steel Battalion, like all the really bad ones. Like, we don't have that. So like I said, I could doubt when you're silent. I was like, all right, he doesn't disagree with this list as much as he thought he was going to. Yeah, no, I expected to totally hate it, and I was like, all right, you son of a bitch.
You saw Jim as a blob. You're like, okay.
I was like, all right. I was like, all right, you dick-sucking cocksucker. Fine.
You're like, I know what you're doing now. Jim, did you like that? I said for the N64 you had the dick handle.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I call it the dick handle, so.
Yeah. See, Jim? This wasn't bad. As much as you wanted to hate it, you can't. But I did enjoy the absolute backlash. I bathed in those tears of people.
I know you did.
It made me so happy that I was like, oh my God, now I see why people feed off negativity. It's so funny.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. So, yeah. My next list was going to be the worst the worst
tweets were like, a rare DBP GL. I was like, it's not me! It's not me!
That is what I was feeding off of. I was like, I know you have to see that and be seething. And I also know you're too lazy to respond to all of them, so I know you let them sit, which I know burned your ass more.
Oh yeah, I was 100% too lazy. I did like a subtweet to it, like I added to the thread, but that was about it. So the damage was done by that point anyway.
But hey, Jim, it did get us the most subscribers, more than our last 10 combined videos. So,
Sure
Jim,
did it.
I was considering doing next the 6 worst gaming franchises and just having a picture of Final Fantasy on there. That and Legend of Zelda.
6 rapiest franchises, and then just list all the Smash Brothers games.
Yep. But yeah, no, that was a fun list to make just because I was like, you know what?
Oh, I know. The whole time you were going, tee hee.
Oh, dude, I was and I put Super Mario 2 just for you.
Could feel the love. Could feel the love through that.
So let us know in the comments. What else did you not like about my list? Now that you know the context, let's see what your real issue is.
Oh, no. Now it's going to get universal love.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Let's see.
I'm just saying a lot of things.
Jim, but you know it gets 0 love, and it does break my heart a little bit, even though we called it from a million miles away. Back for Blood.
Rest in peace.
So Turtle Rock has announced it's ending support. Now, to be clear, it means it's no longer going to develop any further DLC or events. The game will still run. They'll still have servers. Everything that's in the game now isn't going away. But they've basically said, this is a dud product for us. We're not going to keep investing time and, trying to do these events and things like I forget how many events they have done a good handful of them. But no more DLC, no more anything, because basically it didn't sell for shit. The DLC, I mean, at its peak, it had like 10 million people playing, but I tried looking up sales figures, and it's so convoluted because it was free on Game Pass. I don't know if it was free.
Yeah.
So that throws so many numbers where it's like sales aren't the thing. It's really about how many active players you have. In a world of Fortnite and PUBG, Call of Duty, all this shit, like, it doesn't matter what your sale number is, it's how many active users you have, because you're getting all your money from DLCs, from the game passes and shit like that. And this one just wasn't doing numbers. And Jim and I, we did the demo. We were like, oh, okay, cool. And we both walked away the same way, like, yeah, it's fine, but it's kind of too long. There's something it's like didn't have that Left 4 Dead 2 or Left 4 Dead 1 or 2 feel. It was like something was so clearly missing, and that sucks because we've been wanting, if Valve maybe ever gets off their ass and does a third one, just like with Half-Life, maybe they can rekindle the fire. But I wonder if part of that is also it's a sign of the times. Like right now, younger generations and even ours, all they want is Call of Duty, Fortnite, Battle Royale style. Like, that is the game mode. Nobody cares about the online like they used to. And especially cooperative online playing games. Like, there's not many out there that people like clamor for.
The asymmetric definitely got burnt out too.
Yeah, it sucks because I love it. I still will always defend Left 4 Dead 2 as my favorite multiplayer experience ever. But, yeah, I don't know. That game, I feel like if those levels had been 10 to 15 minutes shorter, not as goddamn gruelingly hard, even though we were on, like, normal or whatever mode.
Yeah, the enemies weren't as spongy.
It sucks. Not shocking, but Turtle Rock, I mean, actually, wasn't Turtle Rock the ones that did Evolve too?
I think so, yeah.
So they said they're excited about their next project. So asymmetrical games aren't dead for sure, because Dead by Daylight is still one of the most popular asymmetrical games out there.
Right.
And there is a market for it, but is it just the market of the horde-based asymmetrical maybe dead?
You know what it is? It's any game that's a live service, basically, where they're meant to be played, a lot and continuously, and you're meant to log in to get your bonuses or your weekly bonuses and do the events and buy the DLC and shit like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, love them or hate them, what do you call it? Like Jim, Stephanie Sterling, whatever. They had a good video today where it was basically like talking about all these live service games that have been out and dead within a year. And there's just like everyone, it's like what we saw with first person shooters. It's like what we saw with any genre, like battle royales, any genre that gets popular.
Yeah.
Everyone rushes out to try and get their piece of the pie, and they try and copy the formula to strike it rich, and it never works out. So there's only enough time in the day for like Dead by Daylight is the asymmetrical game. Like that's the one that people go to. That's the Fortnite of asymmetrical. Fortnite is the Fortnite of battle royale at this point. Like PUBG's still around, but it's basically dead. Warzone's the only real competitor to it.
And Warzone is basically just was the next step from original COD players who never converted to PUBG or Fortnite. So that was the logical. You're still doing COD, but really you're doing a battle royale.
Yep. Even going back to when everyone was trying to copy World of Warcraft, and there were all the MMOs that came out. That all came and went. It's just there's only so much time and so much space out there. And at the end of the day, the Coke and Pepsi is what's going to win over, Shasta.
Everything else. Couldn't even say Dr. Pepper. You just had to say Shasta. Excuse me. No, but so I've said there's been many games and good games. VHS, Puppet. There's been a bunch of asymmetrical horror games that are actually really fun. There's going to be a new Texas Chainsaw Massacre game coming out that's asymmetrical that looks great. I just don't know if they're
Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I think it's just too late.
It's
Evil Dead came and went.
And Evil Dead. Actually, it's funny. I just started replaying it because they added a battle royale mode in that game, and I see these developers, like you just said, they're just saying like, how do we make it popular? But that is the problem. I think you hit the nail on the head, which is you got to stop making every game be like, if you don't dedicate all your time, you're not going to unlock all the things. Like, allow games to just breathe and live as their own thing. And maybe, like, instead of just always aiming at, like, we're going to compete with Fortnite, realize, like, you're not. But, like, it's the same as, like, if you were a YouTuber and being like, I'm going to be the next PewDiePie. You're not. You're definitely not. Like, just aim at a realistic target.
Quick side note to cut you off. I love the fucking meme going around of, what the fuck? I thought PewDiePie was a gamer because he did his announcement that him and his wife are pregnant.
Can I also say, like, I saw that too, but I also saw, like, now the number of gaming channels covering, and don't get me wrong, I used to watch a lot of his videos when he was a horror game streamer and, like, all that, but, like, gaming channels covering that, I'm like, and I know there's a big thing going on right now, speaking of videos, that I'm seeing about, like, the retro problem and the clickbait and this. And you see all that bullshit and you go, one, the disingenuous nature of people shitting on that. Like, did you not think that YouTube's always been about clickbait? Like, are you just now discovering that? And two, like, the
clickbait
issue,
and copying. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, and then now the people dogpiling on that, you're doing the thing you're bitching about. You're trying to get views off of a thing.
I love that one guy made that first one with, like, the 4 or 5 videos in a row that all had the retro problem with the YouTubers on there.
Yeah.
Which poor RGT85, at least he had the first one. Shit.
Yeah.
And he had a point. And then everyone copied him. So, and then you get the copycats of people just copying and pasting that same picture and going, oh man, look at YouTube. And then eventually it's just like, so you're complaining about people copying each other while you're copying the tweet that got it for clout. Like,
that's my point. It's an inception.
Christ,
it's an inception moment there. It's like 2 layers deep of, like, you're doing the thing that you hate. I think, you know what I think the number one problem is? And I actually watched his video. I thought I agreed with pretty much all of his points. Like,
yeah,
no, that, like,
he had a very specific anecdote. It was a good video. Yes.
And nobody probably actually watched it. They just see that everyone has that. I think the number one problem that sparked that is one of those people who followed him, like Lady Decade.
Lady Decade was the first one to go after it. Yeah,
her going after it, and she brings a lot of negativity for good reason. I'll say. I'm just gonna say that, and that probably drug it down into, like, the hate mobs, which now RGT85 has to eat some hate, nothing to do with him. So it's like, that sucks.
Yeah. It's just fucking stupid goddamn YouTube.
But
YouTube's
it's
so fucking stupid.
But it's like, so, like, that brings us back, though, this copy and paste, let's see what's popular. these companies are like, oh, the business model for Fortnite and all this. You know what, Back for Blood? I appreciate you want it to be a free game. There's that vampire game coming out, if it didn't already. That's a asymmetrical blood. We talked about it with with SNES Drunk. I forget what it's called, but basically it looks cool. It's like Left 4 Dead, but with vampires, and like you have.
Oh,
powers
I do remember
as
hearing
hunters.
about this. Yeah,
It looks really cool, but I can guarantee you, it's probably gonna die on the cross. No pun intended. And it's one of it's one of these deals where I pray that it just doesn't have the Game Pass method and this and that.
They all thought they were just going to have their game that's going to make infinite money, and then without realizing there's only so much time and money to go around.
Yeah, like you and I have defended and talked about to death. Titanfall, that's a series that was criminally underrated. It is such an amazing shooter. Never got the time of day for one reason or another. I mean, it was just unfortunately in the era of Call of Duty and Battlefield. And nobody wanted mech suits and this and that. No one would even give it a chance. It sucks more shit like that. And I'm sure when some people do an analysis, dive deep, and say, well, when Call of Duty was running wild, here's the hidden gem FPS games. And like
Titanfall 2 is going to be at the top of all those lists. Yep.
Yeah, like, and things like Titanfall, fucking Evolve, like we've talked about. Like, these games are really good games. There's no reason they're not good games. Just, I don't know. They don't catch fire. It sucks.
Well, Evolve had a terrible launch.
Well, the launch and the DLC right off the... Yeah, all that bullshit aside, and the server times. But, like, once the game was working, it's as fun as any game.
Oh, yeah. No, it was a really fun game when it worked. It just never worked. So then people stopped trying.
So, I don't know. I think it sucks. I didn't want that for Back 4 Blood. I'm not shocked about it. I'm curious to see what Turtle Rock comes out with next, but maybe, and I know this is a weird thing, like I don't know what kind of payout companies are getting from Xbox and even PlayStation if they are day one releases on the services, but like maybe instead of being like that Netflix thing where it's like I'll just make it free right away, be the one that's like, you know what, no, we'll just take our chances of just releasing it regular and not have a premium service to try to make up your money then, and maybe you'll have a better longevity in the I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know, for like the major releases, you kind of see that for the most part. Like it's still kind of rare to be like, oh, day one on Xbox Live or day one on PSN. You're like, oh shit, cool. I guess I'm not buying this.
There's so many on Xbox, and we've said Xbox is an amazing service. I love it as a consumer. As a developer, it's probably honestly like in Netflix throwing shit to those comedians where you end up with subpar fucking specials where it's like, do you want to be on Netflix? Or not. Like, so you're kind of like, fuck. Well, they're offering me whatever they're getting offered to be day one and played by the most people. So instead of just worrying on sales, we'll worry about DLC, Game Pass, other ways to make money.
It is funny that Netflix became the new thing for all the stand-ups because, like, for ages, like, stand-ups, like, they wanted to get their specials on HBO. That was the spot to get their specials.
It was HBO. Then it was, like, kind of Showtime. Even Comedy Central, they would be excited for. And then Netflix, everyone's like, well, how come I'm not making Dave Chappelle money? It's like, because you're not fucking Dave Chappelle. That's why. And then Amy Schumer got mad. Everyone gave her no-nos, and that's why you can't give negative reviews anymore.
Yep. Bye-bye star ratings.
So, yeah. You know what? In memory of this week when I stream, I'm going to do some Back 4 Blood. And Jim, you should join me.
Maybe. I'll see if I can hop on.
Do it, you whore. But Chambers, I did like this next video you sent me, and this guy, I want to give him a shout out because he's
I mean, he doesn't need us to shout him out.
Obviously not. Tasting History with Max Miller is the channel. He's been doing it for a long time, has 1.6 million subscribers. Like, the dude's as popular as it can be.
I just recently got into him too. I've fallen down a rabbit hole with him. I'm like, God damn, I like his format.
Okay. I like what he does. I want him to work on him. His delivery bothers me a little bit. That's all.
You think he's a little too soft of a man there, Bri?
I don't know. There's something about him that I'm like, I kind of want to hit him. I don't know. There's something inherently.
He's a little too gentle. You can say that.
Something like that. It's just something, but very informative videos. I also, so the video we're referring to is brewing Mesopotamian beer from, it's like 4,000-year-old beer. It's the oldest beer recipe. A few other brewers, actually Dogfish Head owner Sam, whatever, has talked about doing this before. And I mean, it's a 21-minute video. So he takes his time, walks you through the history of the beer, how they found it. It's really fascinating stuff. And honestly, it kind of gives you a guide if you wanted to do it at home. Here's how you do it.
Yeah, and like the concessions he made to make it as close as he could to like their ancient ways and stuff. So
I love that. The one issue I had, and like I said, maybe it's him, it's a 21-minute video. He spent 30 seconds actually talking about the beer and drinking it. Like, he took 3 sips and was like, okay, it's got a nuttiness, and there's some bubbles. All right, well, thank you for watching. You're like, you spent 20-some minutes on video talking about the history. I want to see somebody really drink.
Well, Brian, it's called talking history. What do you want to get drunk on camera? What do you want from the guy?
Yes, tasting history. And part of tasting is getting drunk. Most of history has been drunk, Jim.
A lot of history has been drunk.
That's all I'm going to say. But no, it is really informative.
And if you want to see like how like the process of beer, like it's so funny to see like Max spent 5-6 days doing the process to get this beer ready for a small batch of beer that's the size of like a large vase, basically, that'll only last you 2 days tops.
So Jim, it's actually really funny. I'm reading a book right now called the Sapiens: The History of Humankind. It's a really good book, and it's so funny because like a week or two ago, I was on a section talking about like it goes through literally from the beginning of human history till now, and they were covering this period, and the exact pictures he's showing was in the book of like how one of the first things that are still covered in recorded history is literally just like a list of things that people kept accounting of, and one of them was materials for beer and the clay tablets and how he did it. I was like, oh shit, I literally just read that. So I was like geeking out on that. I was like, oh my god, it's that, the Yorick period. And I was just like, I love shit like that. I mean, I feel like all guys, why is it when we get older, we're obsessed with history? Whether it's World War, like our dads were like every dad is like that at some point. Like you're like, I'm going to stop watching things I like and just put on History Channel, or in our cases, watch History YouTube or podcast. Why is that? We all do that.
I don't know.
It's like a universal thing.
Something in that male genome. It's just like you just hit like 35 and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I want to know where everything came from.
Yeah. And every dad is different. Like the majority of them, like World War II for our dad's generation was the thing. I don't know what the thing will be for our generation, but
I don't know.
But like, I feel like World War II was definitely our dad's. And
you know what's a shame how overlooked World War I is? Because
completely.
It might have been, it was more brutal than World War II. World War II just had the supervillain. Like you could make a Marvel movie out of World War II.
I mean,
but World War I was fucking disgusting.
I mean, it's the Super NES versus NES, Jim.
You know what World War I was? That was the PS1 of war. That was like you're getting out of like the old, formations and cavalry thing, but still that very beginning of like heavy machinery. And no one knew how to counter what, so like people were just throwing battalions to the fucking meat grinder and shit like that.
Dude, like it lit, like between mustard gassing, airplanes now being involved with like it was as brutal. It was like you're using these tactics that were like, this is a terrible idea.
And fucking airplanes are just biplanes dropping grenades on people because they're only a couple 100 feet off the ground anyway.
And here's the deal: in the future, when it is strictly drones and robotic things being sent out there, you'll go, people used to actually still go in. They'll even look at like Vietnam or the Afghan war and be like, they sent humans in there? Like, what the fuck? It'll be insane. So, yeah, history's a motherfucker.
Yeah,
but,
our generation's not going to have that good war to look back on and obsess over. What are you going to do, the fucking Afghan war? Be like, shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those deals where you go, okay. But this guy, subscribed. I found a lot of his videos very entertaining. This particular one, though, I love when they find ancient beer, because he did like one with mead, and I mentioned also Dogfish Head, where they did, he had done similar with the one beer where he would chew the corn and spit it out because the saliva breaks down the enzymes the right way.
Yeah.
I like it, and here's the deal. Honestly, I would like to try to make this.
I was actually going to ask you, after watching this video, would you try and do the week-long process? Because I know you're a little bit of a cook yourself. So
yeah, oh yeah, I would definitely do this. Like, I just need to really follow the Bapier. That bread is the only one. Like, I would ask Monica really. Like, I know he said you can set it to a certain thing and get the crust. She's better at baking shit, but everything else, the barley, doing all that.
Gotta be careful though. You just need the crust. You don't want to break the insides and kill the yeast.
I know. Oh, trust me. I know. I'll be hanging my cheesecloth. Don't worry.
Damn it.
So, no, but here's the deal.
Now, this is actually like a great informative video to see how beer was done 4,000 years ago.
Yeah. So, Jim, when I make it, be prepared to drink some 4,000-year-old beer.
I am down.
Yeah.
Just don't button hook me and make it, and then like wait a week later and be like, oh, Jim, here's that beer I made. I just did it.
No, I'll let you know. It's number one. If I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna document the process and all my fuck ups too. Come on. So yeah, no, I do love it. Like I said, give him a subscription. There's something about him. It's hittable. Can we admit? Hey, what's his name? TJ said I have a punchable face. There's some people that you just look at, and it's not universal, that you might go, I want to hit.
Oh yeah, no, people have hittable faces.
Yeah, so
if you don't think that, you're lying.
This guy has a demeanor. I'm like, he would shush someone in a public spot. And think, why am I getting yelled at back? That's all I'm gonna say.
And not in the Chad Gable over the top way.
Yeah. Damn it, Jim. God damn it. Don't you dare.
Shh.
Don't you dare. All right, Chambers.
Go to school.
So for our last topic, I was going to do it last week. I saved it for this week. It actually came up because I was playing Dark Watch, but it's applicable to really any FPS game. What is more satisfying to you? And you can even apply this to multiplayer. The moments in those games where you have the sniper rifle, and I'm going to use sniper rifle, anything that's zoomed in, and you're able to get a perfect mid-air enemy jumping headshot, and it blows it off, and you're like, holy shit. Or those perfect moment in games where you're just mowing down enemies on a gatling gun, machine gun, like, where it's like a breather from like thinking so much, and there's just pure destruction going on. What's a more satisfying moment in gaming for you? Because that game had both moments, and both times I was like, oh, fuck, I don't know. I like both of these so much. So it's like, obviously one happened probably more than the other.
Yep.
But it also then got me thinking, like, going back to COD. Like, if you do get on that mounted machine gun and you're able to get a couple kills in a row, it feels so good. But then if you get somebody jumping in the middle of air and you headshot them, you're like, oh my God, like I just came. So you're like, which one is actually better?
I hate to admit it because I fucking hate the no-scope culture of COD. And the swirling 360 no-scope, aim in just enough, hit it at the right time, guaranteed headshot every time, that bull crap. But goddamn, when you do pull it off, it feels so fucking good. Yeah. And I love me a good just shooting gallery. It's nice, it's relaxing, it's fun, it's a nice change of pace like you said. But there's just such a sense of accomplishment that comes from that fucking mid-air headshot. Oh God. I gotta go mid-air headshot, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Like the Gatling gun, so reliable, but that headshot, that's something special.
Yeah, like there were moments in COD. I remember the map. Do you remember the map in COD 4 with the rain, where each side had a mounted machine gun?
Oh yeah.
And you could crawl under like the brick thing. The number of times I got helicopters because I would be on one of those.
Because it was the two broken buildings basically looking at each other, right?
Yep, exactly. Yep. And if you knew where people would go, you could get some kills. Yeah, getting a helicopter just being off that, there is something fun about that. But yeah, I don't know. Nothing quite matches that midair headshot. Like, there's something so magical, because if you've been on the opposite end, which I have, of that happening to you, it's so infuriating, and like, doing it yourself, that's part of the fun, is like, oh, I know that guy is so pissed off right now. So, yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to throw up there as a random gaming moment. Which one you prefer? So we're both in the midair headshot.
Yeah, you know what? It's just like...
Because I look at when
you know what it is? It's like going to your favorite restaurant when you can get a hand job from someone new. That's what the midair headshot is. It's that new exciting hand job.
Well, I was gonna try to equate it to, like, in the major leagues, a lot of people can get singles, but that midair headshot is like that's a home run. That's like, yeah, it's not gonna happen often, but man, honestly, using a sniper rifle, I think, is the most skillful thing you can do in an FPS.
Yeah, by far.
So it's like, yeah, like I go, okay. So yeah, doing the most impressive shot with it adds to it. But there is a place for the Gatling gun. That's a good, you know what? The Gatling gun or sections, that is a really good bunter.
Oh, it's a good utility player. Yep.
It's like, you know what? They're always going to be there. And when it goes off, it is exciting for a different reason. But yeah.
They hit 280. You're happy to have them on the team. They get like 10 home runs in a season, shit like that.
It's good.
Like 40 RBIs. Very dependable player. It's stick around forever. But
it's just like using a rocket launcher or grenade launcher. It's fine. You'll get a couple. You're not going to get a ton of kills, but there's...
Well, see, right, the rocket launcher is the guy who hits 200 but hits 40 home runs. That's what the rocket launcher is.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, is like the rocket launcher is also like, yeah, I don't think it takes that much skill, but okay, when it happens and goes off, you're impressed.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I had to throw it in there. I'm glad you agree with me. Just like with my controller list.
Didn't say I completely agree. Just said I didn't hate it.
Jim, did it burn your ass more? Did you get more mad once you watched it and realized it wasn't as bad as you thought you went, you motherfucker?
Oh, no, the thing that pissed me off the most was that he did it from the actual account. That's the thing that pissed me off the most. That it happened before I even woke up. That's what fucking got my ass.
I know it, because I was like...
The one day I get to sleep in like the past 6 months.
Well, here's what I knew, and tell me where I'm wrong. If I'd sent it to you, first I would have got son of a bitch, but the tagline would have been, Brian made this list, I do not agree with it, but go check it out.
Oh, I probably wouldn't. I would have watched it first, and I probably would have been like, me. So I would have said, Brian puts up his list of the 6 worst controllers, blah, blah, blah. Yes.
But you would have clearly separated yourself from it, like, just like
100%.
Yeah. But that's what I like. Like, I gotta, just like I can't separate myself from our main, when you put out stupid tweets, I go, you mother. The number of times I wanted to comment and be like, that's just Jim commenting.
Yeah, this is fair. This is my comeuppance. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'll accept it. That's why I didn't make it stink.
With that, Chambers, how many of those beers did you get through?
Just went through 2 of them. Like I said, they're good, but they're nothing special as far as the sour world goes. Maybe a little too tart for its own good, but if you like your sours extra tarty, then this is the one to go for.
Nice. And yeah, this, as I assumed, the Homat Weiss beer from Weininger, it's got a ton of banana, a little bit of clover, a little bit of pepper, but it is actually really light and almost creamy is going to sound wrong, but the mouthfeel is very smooth and sugary. There's no bite to it, so goes down really, really smooth. I would highly recommend it, but once again, chances are, unless you're listening to us in Germany, you're not really going to get your hands on it unless you get a specialty pack. But if you can, try it out.
Well, you know what? Fuck it. It seems to be like every beer distributor at this point, so when Christmas time comes along, just look for that German 12 beers a Christmas pack.
Get it. It's worth it.
Yep.
Especially because I think it's like $40 for 12 beers.
It's not a ton. Yeah, it's like $40-50, so it's not even that terribly priced.
So with that, everyone, we want to say thank you so much for listening and watching. If you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please do it. It would mean the world to us. Hit the notification bell because the algorithm does not like our titles. And with that, if you're listening and you are on iTunes or Spotify, hit the subscribe button. If you give us a 5-star rating, even if you want to bash us and tell us we have terrible takes, we will read them in the comments. We want to say have a good night, everyone, and cheers.
Cheers, everyone. Call the voicemail line.
Please do.
Kiki, yeah.
Damn it.